chapter 6 verse 1, take heed that ye do not your alms before men to be seen of them. So what's he saying? Pay attention. Listen to this warning. Okay? Don't do your charity, your good deeds. Don't be focused on doing these things in front of people so other people can see you and say, oh, this person does great stuff, etc. Why? Because he says, otherwise ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. Why is that? Because if you go out of your way to make sure people are seeing you do good things, what does that likely indicate? Which Jesus is implying here. That indicates that you're not really doing this out of your heart. This means this likely indicates that you're doing this stuff so other people can see you and talk good of you and think that you're a nice person. This is why a lot of the time when you've got a lot of rich people and people are publicized, oh, they're so philanthropic, etc. They do all of this good stuff. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. And I'm not saying that everyone that does philanthropy is evil, is looking for gain, okay, because that's not the case. But Jesus was being very specific here, highlighting that, look, there's some people out there, okay, that are only doing these things so people can see them and they can turn around and say, yes, okay, I'm this righteous person that's doing all of this good. And Jesus says, look, if you do those kind of things, if you get out of your way so people can praise you and see you, God has no reward for you. And what does he say? Therefore, when thou doest alms, do not sound a trumpet. That implies that some people were sounding a trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may have glory of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. Okay? So he's basically saying, look, if you go out of your way to highlight that, look, hey, look at me, look at me. If you go out of your way to blow that trumpet, and sound the alarm, so everyone can see you. Hey, look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. If you do that, there is no reward for you from the Father. And the reward you're getting from other people, that is going to be your reward. Because that's what you want. You want people to see you and you want people to praise you. Now, what does he say in contrast? Bear in mind, again, always focus on these two categories. You're dealing with the people that are really spiritual and really doing the right thing. And then you've got the boasters, the hypocrites, as Jesus called them, that are doing it to seek approval from men. And what does he say in contrast in verse 2? Or verse 3, sorry. He says, but when thou doest alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth. Okay? So notice the contrast. We've got one set of people that are sounding alarm, sounding the trumpet, so people can see them doing their good works. Jesus is saying, look, what you need to do is, you need to be the person that your other hand doesn't even know what you're doing. 4, that thine alms may be in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret, himself shall reward thee openly. Okay? Why is that? Because if you go out of your way to do things, not so people can see, you're just doing things out of a pure heart to help, God can see your heart, and God's going to say, you know what? This person really wants to help me. I'm going to elevate that person. I'm going to showcase that person because their heart is right. Okay? This is why, I even mentioned this last week, okay, we recently started a Patreon. We've been doing it before, but we've recently, and we haven't really publicized this largely, but we've recently started talking more publicly about people sowing into our ministry, giving into our ministry, supporting us, becoming partners with us. And there's links in the description to that, as in the description box, if you want to look at that. But I mentioned this last week, and one thing I said is, look, it just so happens that some of the context of what we was dealing with last week was about giving and supporting ministers. And I basically said, one of the key things is, if you don't have the heart to give, then don't give. Okay? So we're going to talk about this stuff from time to time. Yes, sow into our ministry, help us, support us, continue to produce these kind of things more easily, etc. But the fact of the matter is, we're not just trying to take in and have people sow into us just so they can say, oh, look at me, look at me. No, okay? You need to want to do this out of your heart. And really and truly, okay, I'd rather have half of the money come in out of people from a pure heart than have 2 times as much but have half of those people really not giving for the right reasons, okay? So I want you to give because you feel led to give out of your heart. You say, you know what, I like what these guys are doing at In That Word. I want to support them, continue to get this outreach out, okay? And this is the point Jesus is making here as well.